vehicles.
6:35. Come to order.
Back to. On the last page.
Hey,
I think I already did.
I don't like that. I want an ordinance for me. Attendance, Chris Whirlin,
Christine Herb.
Mark Albert.
Chris Williams.
Right then.
and Dave Beatty.
Dave Beatty. Sorry.
That's okay. Minutes from last meeting.
Question.
Yes,
Where do the minutes from the last meeting come from?
this would have been November.
No.
Because we didn't have the
Are
December.
they on the, I don't get them on my email. I get all the other stuff.
I didn't recall getting the minute
I
from the
never
November
received the
meeting.
minutes. I don't know if they're on.
Did I miss them?
Are they on the file somewhere?
Is your-
Normally they're kept by the board secretary who takes the minutes normally in the past. If minutes that weren't in the package that got emailed out today, this morning, then that's my fault.
Well,
No, maybe Joanne,
It's been-
hold on.
I think Joanne would have done it back in
I don't.
before she left.
I didn't recall seeing them, but I,
I mean,
minutes from the last meeting on 12/12.
Which you had.
But I have.
The last medic meeting was in November.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think,
I thought it was my fault.
oh no, that was something.
She did send it. It's at the end of all the bank attachments. On 12/11 or 12/12
So from Dave, Andy, Dave.
from Joanne.
From Joanne. Mine say 11.
12/11.
11.
All right, so it is my.
But you have to scroll all the way to the end of the.
Yeah.
The bank statements to get.
Okay.
Looking back there.
Yeah, you're not.
Yeah, you're not.
Well, I didn't,
Yeah.
it wasn't my fault.
It's 4 pages.
All right, I saw the bank statements. Sorry to interrupt.
Nope, you're fine. Do we need to take a minute so you guys can all read those?
Yes, please.
You got big state.
I did the large print, but I still need my glasses.
Yeah, I've got them on here.
Oh, okay.
We ready to move forward? Okay.
I move we approve the minutes from the November meeting.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. 4-0 and 1 abstain from Ray. And those were from the November minutes, not December. Okay. Treasurer's report. This needs to be from December and January, as we did not have a meeting last month.
The only thing I noticed, and it's super incidental, there's a $36 maintenance charge that should go to fire, that was split out to medic on the vehicles. That's the only thing I saw, super minor.
Okay. Just wrong place.
Yep.
Okay,
And I know that I reviewed
prior one.
the prior one last month because I thought we were having a meeting and it was messed up, but I had no concerns on that.
So do I have a motion to accept the treasurer's report with the amendment to the $36 maintenance going to fire?
I'd make that motion.
Okay.
Well,
Right. Second. Albert, all in favor?
I
Aye.
Abstain.
Okay. 4, 0, and 1. Okay. Okay, and payment of the bills, December and
Did we
January.
skip approving the agenda?
Yes.
I don't know. I'll pick it way up here. Oh, yep, I marked the wrong one. Okay. Let's go back to agenda, sorry. I wrote below it.
It's your paper, you can color wherever you want.
All right, do we approve the agenda?
I would suggest adding to old business that we need to revisit whether the health administrator is being paid correctly.
In that? I thought it was too. Back pay update, old business.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. Any other?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor of the agenda?
Aye.
Aye. All right, 5 and 0. Go on that. Okay, back to payment of the bills. I guess the only other payment adjustment would be the 36. If
And
that's
that's-
already in that payment.
We've probably already paid that and it'll have to be credited back on next
Right.
month's. Yeah.
So other than that, payment of the bills, do I have a motion
Move to approve.
and a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 5 and 0. Public comment? Okay. Old business, community involvement. I have one thing before I turn it over to you. My daughter sits on the community building board and she messaged me tonight. They are looking for volunteers for their senior luncheon, helping deliver the food. And she said, please put it out there, anybody that can come in. It's this Tuesday, they do it twice a month. I can give you a phone number and you can get more information, and I do have a flyer somewhere. I think, actually, Dave, I think I sent that flyer to you.
Perfect.
But they're looking for anybody that can help. So, over to you, Christine.
So that will be on the 20th.
Yes.
Okay.
See if I can find that flyer.
And this is not the senior luncheon that they're doing right at that building, right? This is,
Blue Mountain Senior Meals, Tuesdays 13th and the 27th. My mistake. me.
Chris, do we know about how many that they're delivering? How many meals? We're
I
not sure.
don't, but I did see on Facebook and they had probably about 100.
Wow.
They had a good turnout. Well, Greg was there. Would you agree?
We did not have 100, anyone near 100, we had about 30, I think.
Oh. It looked pretty packed to me, but
There were a lot of people there, but it was the first one and it was not publicized very well, so we think. I'm on the board of that and we think we're gonna go with it. It was just, that was really a test to see how it's gonna work. Did people like it or didn't they, or whatever,
Yeah,
they liked it.
I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, I do too.
Mhm.
They've had one in Elgin for a long time.
We had one here for a long time and then it died during COVID and
oh, that had you on it.
and so we brought it back up, brought to life again.
So we're not they're not delivering food though, they're having food at the
At the
community.
community building.
Okay,
And she just is on the board to be the building. She's not on the committee renting the building. So, but I guess they had a meeting tonight. And she knew my meeting was right after hers, so
nice,
she asked me just to put it out there. Um,
nice.
the text message I just sent out to Dave, Christine, and Andy, is just their flyer that I received. So I know nothing. Okay,
That's
your
great.
turn.
Community involvement, Dave and I just met tonight, just kind of laying out 2026 and what we're gonna get involved in. So just a quick overlay, just going month by month. Easter egg hunt, that's really a part of the volunteer team, Athena Volunteer Fire group that does that. Pioneer Picnic, the firemen's breakfast, or excuse me, not men, but we don't have an exact date. We think it's June 6th. And then looking at Roundup again, that's a volunteer fire department fund that does that. We do want to do an activity on September 11th. So we'll talk about that. We had just a few days to pull it together this year. So yeah, so we're gonna do things a little different. Veterans Day is another one we want to definitely get behind of. And then Fire Prevention Week, I don't have the dates for that, but we had great success going into the schools. And then we also had,
October, I think, isn't it?
yep,
It's normally the second or third week in October. It just hasn't been
Designated.
Yeah.
And we'll get that.
So most of those are at the end of the year. Do we have more at the beginning?
nope, not right now. We are looking at, which falls under new business, but we are going to do a blood drive here at the fire station, and that will be May or June. So I'm working with the Red Cross. We have the Red Cross coming up next Tuesday to look over our facility and just see if we got enough space and what they need, which we don't think that's going to be any problem. So what we're trying to do is coordinate the next blood drive at Athena High School or West McEwen is on the 9th of February. And then Milton Freewater will have one. And I think that's either going to be like April-ish. And we want to stay 60 days after that.
Yeah.
And then we'll just start on a yearly basis plugging that in so people can get used to a blood drive being here at our station.
Great.
Is the plan. So
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Awesome. What about the one where we drove our fire truck around and delivered presents?
So the
What
city,
happened with that?
there was an employee at the city of Weston that kind of headed that whole project up.
Okay,
She coordinated it, she did, pulled names off the giving tree, and that person left and moved out of the area. There were some people over at the Happel Community Credit Union that year before last picked up and wasn't quite as robust, but we still participated. And then this year, I was checking up and asking, hey, we still haven't gotten a call, and we're wondering what weekend and whatnot. We were told that people were going to go to the gifts were going to be bought for kids for names off of the giving tree, and then moms and dads were just supposed to go to the city, get the gifts and then take them.
Okay. So it
And-
wasn't us that dropped the ball.
No, and that was
Okay. Cause that seemed to be a good one.
it was. It was a very good thing. It was well received, it was well participated in, and it was a tremendously good thing.
Okay.
Christine,
Yes.
so under blood drive, you
Mhm.
might, whether you want to or not, sometimes the seniors do a project and some of them do a blood drive at Weston.
They do. September or February 9th is their next
Oh,
one.
is that one?
So that's why we've scheduled ours.
Okay, I didn't know if somebody might wanna.
Yeah, no, and
coordinate with you.
And part of the reason we're doing it when we're doing is that what they'll do on February 9th at the high school is advertise ours and it will show up on the Red Cross app. So people can sign up right away for that. So we're trying to stay away because they do 2 a year at the high school.
Do they?
So
Okay.
we're trying to totally stay away from that.
Okay. Anything else regarding community involvement? Any questions? Okay, merging the districts. I think we're kind of in a move forward but pause in that. In the new business, we have the Stronger Together meeting, which kind of is part of that. Matt, did you want to address that? Those two together?
Yeah, they kind of fit together.
Mhm.
You want me to start?
Yes, please.
Well, I wasn't prepared to start, but I will. So they had the second of the Stronger, I'll just try to summarize best I can, Stronger Together meetings, held by the county. So I think every fire agency in the county was represented there with the exception of the city of EUCAAHD. So that had pretty much everybody.
We had UCFD, us, Pendleton Fire, the Tribe, Milton Freewater, Umatilla, and Echo was there.
And Umatilla.
Yeah, Umatilla.
Yeah.
And UCFD.
Milton Freewater City.
Milton Freewater City,
Milton Freewater City.
Umatilla Rural, and Echo Fire.
Yep.
And then Pilot Rock and Mackay board members were there.
Yep.
So.
And so, yeah, so there was a pretty good swath of the county there.
And a lot of representatives and commissioners. There was what, 4?
Yeah, and they left when the going got good though.
Right when Matt was ready to,
You know,
Matt was like, no.
But there was a staffer from Senator Buckley's office. There was Senator Nash was there from Loudoun County. Rep Levy had a staffer on, and as well as she attended part of it virtually. And I believe Rep Walt and gentleman from Morrow County.
Oh,
Smith.
Yeah.
Rep Smith had a staffer there. So pretty well attended, kind of similar panel talk with the chiefs. The speaker, I forget the guy's name, but was from Lane Fire and Rescue or Lane County Fire Authority. Is that right?
Terry Nye.
Terry
He
Nye?
was here
Terry
in
Nye.
2020. He addressed us down at the.
That's right. And so kind of spoke to merging a volunteer organization with a paid organization on the outskirts of the Eugene area, which still exists today. And that was 15 years ago, 15. So they've been operating for quite a while. Eventually those two organizations merged into one, and they still IGA with another
small one.
small district that's there. They never brought them into that new district, but they continue to IGA with them to this day. So pretty good success story, I think. So the overview and the pulse was kind of, hey, we met last year, we're meeting now. How do we keep momentum going towards a goal of whether that's, a goal to look at a countywide fire authority or to not essentially, let's not waste any more time if folks aren't in. And they had that form, which we could have copies of that passed around just for folks to read it.
I don't wanna lose one, but
Yeah,
that's the only ones I got.
I think the idea there is to at least,
You can tweet that at, it's the only one I got.
if a district wanted to signify their support, they could sign that and get that in so that they're on record as being wanting to participate in this future organization, or at least the discussions moving towards the future organization. There's no, I wouldn't say there's no monetary commitment at this point. There's no, they talked about a feasibility study to look at the county to see if it's even,
I was.
not if it's possible. We know it's possible, but to see how it would work and function, etc. There's concern over the cost of a feasibility study among some of the group members. And as soon as costs kind of come out, it kind of hangs people up on future desired state. And so I think that's accurate so far. That checking out. See,
I would agree.
Yes.
it's pretty good from memory. I personally think there's probably opportunities, and I think these two gentlemen could say that there might be some, county emergency management could maybe put in for a grant, or some say third party could fund that feasibility study, so that it's not a burden on smaller districts, and you don't also have a municipality in a large district fronting the cost of a feasibility study that may not come to fruition. And so it's, in my mind, if it's truly a county look, then the county probably has the responsibility to at least get it lined out and see what that is. And if folks want to kick in, I'm sure the county's not going to say no, but that's not the side.
Another thing that was shocking for us is the fact that there technically is 4 dispatches in Umatilla County. You've got the city of Umatilla, which only does police. You've got the city of Milton Freewater. You've got the tribe, which I personally knew, and the main one. But I didn't realize the other 2, and a lot of other people didn't, and they were represented there too.
Until it's only during the day,
Correct.
only police and only
Only
during the day.
during the day, yeah.
Yeah, and Milton Freewater always stayed with whatever
Just
they
there.
have there. Because they didn't opt into the radio district when it was formed.
You can still get them on the internet.
But anyway, so
Who does dispatch milk?
City of
Yeah,
Milton.
the
City of Milton.
They have their own dispatch.
They're on VHF, they're not on UHF like everybody else, so. they have extra radios.
About that.
They opted to stay with like Walla Walla County area for their communication purposes.
So they never jumped in the Umatilla Moro radio district. Anyway, so that was a piece. The feasibility study, I think, is the next step. There were some comments about, well, we don't know if we want to be in because we don't know if it's going to cost us to be part of the feasibility study. And I don't know if I could if I articulated the point or not, but to me, it's like that needs to be done regardless. And you'll see, go into it with everybody in, and then as you peel components out, like let's say, and I'll pick on the city of Umatilla because they said it, but if they don't want to be in because it's going to cost them, if you have a feasibility study that's done and you pull a district out or a chunk out, if the whole thing collapses when one gets pulled out, then it won't work at all unless everyone's in. But if it's like, yeah, you can take three components out and it still, has a structure and functions, then cool, you can join or not, it's fully up to, but the feasibility study should show that, like where that point of breaking is in the system. Does that sound right?
Yeah, I mean, and also the other point was that he'll actually give data so people can understand actually why it works. Essentially, you're actually listening to some guy from Pendleton, outsider, that why am I going to trust you? But it actually puts it in dollars and cents, I think, and so it allows everybody kind of it's almost a translator, so everybody can kind of understand it, and then it also will, depending how we would contract it, but it will be kind of the roadmap on how it would actually happen. It'll give you those steps, and again, I think like Matt said, if maybe it's better for the two bigger entities to start, or maybe it's not better for them to start, but it'll show that roadmap. So there were several advantages to definitely having it. And I think the cost was the only thing that got
Scared
people
people.
kind of scared. And I was talking to Scott Stan, we're gonna go approach Amazon to see if they wouldn't fund it. Apparently at one point he was supposed to get something set up, so that would be great if they could just throw some money at it and let us get it done. Cause I think the cost between 125 and 150. So. Yeah.
It's a
I have a dog.
Yeah.
So, and I think it fits into the larger discussion too, like we've been talking about merging. And I did bring this up, and this was the unfortunate part where there wasn't the reps in the room to hear is, like we stated before, trying to merge. So there's 2 medic districts in the county. There's only 2, and Medic 400 is one, and Milton Free Water Ambulance area is the other. So there's only 2 medic districts in the entire county. And then you have the fire districts, right? So UFR, UC1, Umatilla, Echo, Pilot Rock, the 3 around Pendleton that incorporate with Pendleton. So there's like 8 probably fire districts in the county. Is that right? If my math is right.
But Linux was 3. Are you taking tribe out?
They have
There
their
was
own
the big
SA.
one down here.
I'm not counting medic. I'm not counting ASAs.
Oh, okay, never mind
I'm
then.
counting true medic districts.
Okay.
And so there's only the 2.
Yes.
The rest there's ASAs, right? The rest are ASAs. And so that adds a little bit of an element into the whole thing. And I brought up the point, like, we can't even merge a medic district and fire district that generally overlap, because if you move a medic boundary, you're either changing an ASA, which Sage did admit to would be an easier thing to do. But if our medic district butts up to Milton Free Water Ambulance, if we move that boundary, it changes their boundary. If we move a fire district boundary, we can move it to the west, but if we move south, we can either impact Pendleton or the tribe or some other. So we can't move anything without affecting a neighbor. And so if we don't holistically look at the entire county from top to bottom, what makes the most sense and how can we structure this? And maybe this will lead to that eventually. I don't know, but it kind of plays into that. And there was a lot of, yeah, okay. And like, yep, sounds like your problem kind of thing.
Yep.
And maybe that's just my spin on it. It's not, it is our problem, but it's a bigger, it's going to take a lot more than just us to solve. But again, I didn't mean to detract from that. So I was able to make that point, I think. But again, I think it's time for that group to either have entities and districts support it, or to say, hey, thanks, but no thanks. We don't want to be part of that. And so that thing that Chris passed around would be the district either signifying they want in and be part of this. They want to, that's the other part of it, is they want to put together
I don't think it says that we are guaranteeing. We're just ready to talk and give our support in the talk.
yeah, and that talk would be then putting up a person to be part of a work group.
Correct.
Moving forward. So it's not a board and not a nothing. It's just a work group to kind of probably look at the feasibility study when it comes in, or get that thing dialed in, and here's how it's going to kind of move forward, and et cetera, and have a rep from each of the entities that would be part of that. So it could be a bigger group with 2 medic districts, the tribe, the 8 fire districts, and a few other folks. You're looking at 12, 15 people probably on this group to, be a work group going forward in the future. And I would guess that's going to be no less than a 3 to 5 year probably work group. So.
Do you see any willingness from the county commissioners to just say, hey, guys, this is what we're doing, and we're gonna start down this road?
I don't know that they would come right out and say that. Cindy Timmons was there. She was the only commissioner there. And I don't know how much latitude they've offered to the emergency manager to try to do that. And I do think, I don't want to speak for Sage, but I do think he's understands the seriousness of the issue, and how this will work. And he's trying to do everything he can to keep, moving towards something.
Sure.
So I think that.
Commissioners could make the whole county one ASA. Could do that now.
That's true.
I think the chance of that politically.
Yeah. They may not be commissioners for long, but yeah.
But if it got so bad, it could, just like
the fact that
Free Water's had his offer
Sure.
on things.
Yeah, and the city of Milton Freewater's there, and I kind of talked to Sage a little bit offline. There's the no man's land piece in between us and UCFD1, and down by Pendleton there is a strip in there that they're actually seeking to put a rangeland fire protection association in the middle of that, and then there's the Milton Freewater rural fire area to our north that really isn't a true fire district in that way. And so whatever needs to be done needs to address those components also, and he's tracking those 100%. So
Okay.
whether we can do anything about that stuff, I don't know, but that's where it sits. You've been pretty quiet. You were
No.
there.
I was there, yes.
She'll confirm that.
And so I guess this is kind of jumping the gun a little bit, and I know it's on the fire board agenda as well. And with that, I think on the fire board side, I'd like to get a vote on whether we vote to put a member into this group and support it for now, or whether we say, hey, thanks, but no thanks. That's a little preliminary shot to the fire board folks.
I would kind of like to have that vote for medic also.
Yeah, I would move that we sign MOU.
Okay.
Participate.
I'd second that motion.
Okay. Yes,
Yes.
Mark?
Sure.
Okay,
They're gonna afford it.
so I got all 5 of us. Now, who wants to take on that role as our member to step up and go to these meetings? Are you pointing at Andy? Okay. The question is, does he have authority to go to do this, or does it need to be a board member?
I
I-
think that Sage was inviting board members.
That was the impression I got, and
That's kind of where I think.
yeah,
Now, whether the board member and Andy goes, that's fine with me, but
How much of a commitment?
that's,
probably a pretty big one.
since we're having an open discussion about it, I feel compelled to volunteer for the fire board side to do this. If there's someone else that has a hankering and wants to do it, like, hey, that's cool. But I intend to volunteer for that if the board decides to go that route. I'll get ahead of myself here. I've thought about that too. What is this time commitment? Because I see it as it's could be a longer term thing, and I don't know how long it's going to take to squeeze 150K out of Google, or if they can just like, oh, okay, we'll do that tomorrow. Cool. So I think there will be I won't say it's minimal, but there's gonna be a little bit, and probably until that feasibility study is really done, cause that's gonna be an outside. Again, and correct me if I'm wrong, but that won't be the internal, there'll be some questions that need to be answered by folks within the group. But it's not a workload that they've gotta take on to, hey, we gotta prove to see this thing, and an outside entity is gonna come in and provide that service. So there's probably some Q&A time for staff, Q&A time for the districts, probably some Q&A for some of the board members. And I don't know if that's, they show up to a board meeting and, hey, I've got these 5 questions, you know, budget, tax revenue, whatever, things that the chief can answer probably on the what happens here, and then probably stuff that we need to answer as a board or a member of the board could answer for them. Something along that. I would hope it wouldn't be more than, once a month, at least initially, until that feasibility study is done, but I don't know. It might be an hour a month. And I'm looking at for some help, but I don't think anyone really knows. And so.
I think you're right on. I think the flavor was I think we watched the feasibility study, and that is an outside entity, so we got to either get the money. There's 3 options where I think, if I remember correctly, get it from an outside entity. Amazon came up. I think even that they're on the county either pay for it or pay for the biggest portion of it, because it does affect the whole county. And then the third one is that the entities that want to be in, and there would be another, like you have a vote to be in or out, that you be in and you pay for part of it. And I was thinking, I don't know how it'd be for, but I would say UCFD 1 in Pendleton are 90% of the call load and population, so we would pay for 90% of it. And then the smaller entities would just pay a percentage based on kind of representation. I think that's probably where it would go, but again, that would go out and everybody would have to agree to it. If people that wanted, they would just come off in the feasibility, so they would just include who wanted to pay. I think if we get someone out to pay, I think most people will be in. I think they are curious, but if it costs, at that time, you guys probably have another decision to make to, the hook for whatever he's come up with the payment of it.
Yeah.
And that'll take several months, because it'll be an entity that does it, and they will interview all the entities, finances, resources. They'll look at call times, call runs, how it all gets managed to piece it all together and put that into a report for everybody. So that'll take several months at least, once they even start.
Yeah. And then I would guess it'd be a commitment after that. And I think it'd be a little more structured after that too. Hey, this group is going to get together, the second Wednesday of every month for the next, year, 2 years.
And the group would probably decide that, what's going to be.
Or every 2 months, or every, who knows? So, here, but yes, that's a long answer to, we don't know about the time frame.
I would also not object to being on that, but what about my other board members? Is that something you guys would like?
I don't think I can commit to it.
I have no time.
But I should. No.
You're the retired one.
He's working harder than he's ever worked before.
Doing his honey-do list.
Decades of things to catch.
No, I'm not. I will plug in periodically, but to say I would be committed on a regular basis, no.
Well, I know you're a graduate this year. Okay. So
Yeah.
I have
If
signed
you're
it.
willing to do it, Chris, I that's fantastic. Thank you.
I have signed ours, and I will pass it to Andy. There's the other one, Matt, for you at your meeting. Okay, any other questions
I'll
regarding
see that
this?
for just a minute. Thank you. No, I don't have any.
Okay, moving along, repayment of scholarships.
So I talked to one individual, he's talking about, instead of, testing for his aid, he's talking about going to paramedic school. So I said, are you gonna have to pay us back? He says, I know, So that's been a discussion. Good news is we gained another AEMT. Happy to say that those of you who read the email, Curtis passed. So now he owes us 2 years. He actually signed, sealed, delivered a license, so he's able to function. We're gonna look at sending that content to work
Get
a
some
few
training.
shifts, get some good experience, and he'll be a great asset to us. The repayment for Mr. Cavassa, I did send out a second letter. It did get returned saying that was not a valid PO box. Went back and double checked my records to make sure the PO box was correct. It was the correct PO box. After talking to a few people, I'm not gonna say this, but something has changed. So I had a couple other options. I conferred with Chief Beatty, and we talked to he talked to the attorney, and we feel that the best option is to just send him straight to collections.
Okay.
So
On the repayment of the scholarships, the original ones, was it 3? So you said Curtis is good to
Curtis.
go.
right,
One wants to go to
paramedic school.
paramedic school.
Trying to think of the third one. I can't remember the third one right now, but
Was there 3 or was there 2?
I thought there was just 3 total.
3 total. Yeah, the other one.
And then there was-
If I remember. Okay,
Does that sound right?
That's what I was thinking.
okay, 3 total. Okay. Okay.
Are we good to go with taking this without the velocity for
Yes.
collections?
The nice part about that is we give that to Walla Walla Collections Bureau and then we're done.
Yeah.
One of the things that our attorney said was, maybe you should just write it off because of the amount of time you're spending so far, you're losing money, you're losing more, and you're losing more. And
Let them collect what they can and
he gave us some options and the collection thing was one of the that we asked about.
But I did actually find a physical address when I went to put this as a physical address. They said there was no mail that was delivered to there because it's all a PO box in Adams. So I just said, okay. So that's when Chief Beatty and I talked and we spoke with the attorney and this is what we came up.
works for me.
Mhm.
Okay.
Thanks for following.
Thank you
Yes.
very much.
Any other questions on that? Okay, back pay updates.
Back pay for,
Andy,
it's still being computed, but his salary right now is where it needs to be.
Okay.
His back pay from years ago is still being computed.
are we going through a third party on that, whether Spratling or through Pendleton, so that
We
our
can,
hands are
we can certainly,
not touched?
Well, who do you say is computing it right now then?
right now it's me. And it's actually, it's fairly simple. There's straight time and the hours that should have been overtime. So that's, I can have my numbers confirmed or, you know, looked over, oversighted by Spratling or anybody.
Are we using Spratling at all right now? Or have
No.
we moved everything to Pendleton?
We're in the process of that. It's not as easy as just a snap of fingers. It's a little bit of a process, but we're getting into.
Okay.
We're still writing them checks.
For Spratlings, yes, we wrote them checks for their services the last month.
So Andy, November you were underpaid because you had switched from an hourly schedule to a 40-hour a week schedule. Have you gotten compensation because November was short?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
And December was paid at the correct amount?
yes,
Yes?
yes.
Okay, I want to make sure, because if
Right.
we can't get payroll right, we're not going to keep employees, so. So will this other payroll thing be done in the next 30 days?
Are we talking about the other?
Now we're talking about the back pay.
That's the goal, less than that. The next 3 or 4 days is my intent, but, that's one of many things that's happening.
Well, let's check something off the list.
Yeah, yes, that's a good idea.
The
this is old business then for next time.
Yeah, we better
Yes.
check back in.
Mhm.
Okay, monthly equipment status.
I've got, the monthly reports for equipment, vehicles, safety, they're right here. There's, 10 of each one. Anybody can, there's one for each board member, you can take a look at it. We do have an ambulance that's out of service. We're frustrated because we can't get it looked at until Tuesday of next week. Because Monday is the holiday, so you have an ambulance that's out of service, it's usually some fuel and gas.
That, the fuel that you fix, it is the, throwing a bunch of codes. That would use the power at the,
It was going with limo.
yes,
Okay.
I thought we had one and Pendleton had one.
they actually returned that back. As quickly as they could, they had.
They broke it?
The repairs, no, they didn't break ours. They broke theirs.
Break ours.
So is our
Really?
ambulance still under warranty?
The
Probably
ambulance?
not.
No, it's not.
Okay, so did you call around to shops and, did you call more than one place to see if they could get in quicker?
I presume that Bill did that, but I can confirm with next time I see him, I can ask him.
Confirm and write it in the thing that nobody gave you info if they didn't, because remember that was our big thing that RAP got mad about. Remember, we didn't write down that we asked 10 people, but only 2 people responded.
I will do that.
Wait, or Andy, what's the problem again with the ambulance?
It's throwing some code.
Oh, and going in the
And
limbo.
it's going into limbo.
Oh, we only had 2 accidents?
I have a thought on another vendor. Guys,
Reported accidents, 2 reported. These are on our people? For the safety committee?
Yes.
And were they hospitalized or paper cuts?
One went to the hospital, and we have not seen the 801 file from
Okay.
that.
Okay. And the hospital one's good now?
Yes.
Okay.
That needs done now. You want it done.
No respond if it's filed. We have done our part and we have turned it into our insurance agency and we have made sure we've handed the 801 form to the person. If the person doesn't fill out and file it, then we've done as much as we can.
But we file that as the employer,
Yes,
the 801.
I filed it with our insurance rep.
Okay. So the 801 has been filed.
Yes. Yes.
The city's checking our irrigation backflow preventer in the winter? That's kind of a strange timing.
What winter?
Well, true, but
Thank you, Fred.
I mean, like my system's drained, that the city of Athena doesn't do it till like May or something like that, you know.
And yes, ours is the same.
Blown out as well. Did they come inside and check? One inside?
I wasn't here when he came by.
Because they came inside and checked one, and I know that the backflow preventer is supposed to be checked once a year.
Right.
Once it's inside, out in irrigation.
Okay, any questions on these reports?
Nope.
So I got a question in case we don't have to do it again later. On the 801. We have submitted it because this says you handed one out, but you haven't got it back.
Correct.
But we, the employer, does the 801, brings it to the insurance company.
Correct. That has happened.
That has happened.
Yes.
So the employee has a copy of it
Yes.
then? Oh, it's fine. So it's, okay. Thank you.
Okay. Health administrator report. Everybody,
Go ahead.
no, go.
I sent out the health administrator report and then everything after happened with the health administrator report. So the ambulance went down, as we know. One thing that came up is the employee contract that I have that was pre-CBA, so we need to look into some things because it gets kind of dicey with the union, that they could actually grieve if I'm actually working on the ambulance, which I should not be unless there's a clause in there and the union also agrees to it. There's things we need to look at, clean up and contract.
Yeah, Sherry's actually looking at it. I talked to her today. There are some things that need to be cleaned up clerically and just how it reads. So she'll give input and for you guys.
So do you anticipate at our February meeting, we'll have a draft to look at?
I will talk to Sherry and see if we can get one, and I'll advise throughout the month, to make sure that we have.
That was the plan.
Okay.
Another thing that came up is the overtime staffing and forced hire policy. That's something that we need to look at because we need to make sure that we have people minimum staffing here. This gives us an opportunity to.
Technically, this needs to go to fire though. Right? Because we don't have employees.
That's correct.
Okay,
I mean, we can advise, but
yeah.
Yeah.
But there's.
We advise you to look at it, please. Okay.
That's all I have.
Did I see some transfers too?
Yes, we have
I was very
transfers,
happy
been very
with that.
successful with that.
oh, cool.
With the, trying to get people to come in, of course, on the holidays, I had several calls that, went unanswered. I'm trying to get people motivated to want to come in and do that. The couple that we have done have gone very well. Being an ambulance down, that really hurts us. So I have to call the hospital and say, hey, right now, let's sit on loan, you know. As Pendleton is one of the ambulance to us, so turn the favor, so it's always a good thing. But hoping to get more. They've there's quite a while there. They called quite a bit. I'm like, I'll see what I can do. And one was New Year's Eve night. I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna get anybody, but I'm sure gonna try. And it just didn't work. So they understood. We're really working. I'm really working on trying to get that happen to help help the guys in Pendleton so they're not doing any and alleviate the pressure.
Cool.
Melton do transfers?
Yep, they sure do.
Do they?
Do they?
Oh, yeah.
Most of them
Where
are
do they
just
start
back
at?
into Milton.
No.
He takes him as 911 calls. So he.
Oh, so the hospital calls a 911 call. Yes, they've done that.
If they call direct line to the station, he tells them to call 911 and then that's the way he's dispatched out. And he does quite a few.
That seems to me like a misuse of 911, but
I have talked to
Well, it gives Pendleton Dispatch something, or Milton Dispatch something to do.
I may have been misled, but that's what I was told by two different people.
I'll say this, when I worked there a while ago, that's what they would do. There were a lot of times in the middle of the night, they'd call me at home. Hey, can you take this transfer? And I just wait a few minutes and be like, I can't, you know, and I call back and say, I'm sorry, I just can't. I don't have anybody to take it. But sometimes they would do the 911 thing. Then they would have to take it. So I know that I've talked to St. Mary's quite a bit, and they're willing to give us an opportunity to do transfers. So right now we're gonna start small.
Blood drive, I'm hopping to the bottom. You kind of touched that. Is there anything else you
Nope.
want to do on that? Okay. Business from the board. Chris,
Yeah, so it seems like we find ourselves needing some bookkeeping services, right? We don't have bookkeeper to take care of our district accounts, am I correct?
You are.
You're correct.
So,
I thought we hired a temp.
I thought so too.
There will be a temp here on Tuesday.
so is that temp going to take care of the medic district, paying the bills, reconciliation, financial reports?
That's the intent, yes.
Okay, so we do have somebody hired and coming.
Yes.
Okay.
I
Yes.
thought that they were starting last week.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, so what happened is I called the temp company, I called like 3 temp companies. And one said, yeah, we have somebody, we actually interviewed, they wanted us to interview them.
Okay,
So I felt that was a really good idea, but
Yeah.
it drug the process on a
Sure.
lot further. So we actually interviewed 2 people. The first one said, drive is too far. I don't want to come down for that. The second one seemed very enthusiastic, and even at the end of the interview says, when do I start? So interviewed a lot of her skills, and she has a lot of good skills that we need.
Great.
She'll help us streamline a lot of things too.
well, that's positive. Thank you.
Anything else?
Update on the door lock for the Athena building.
Oh, yes, please.
Yes. One, well, I probably shouldn't say don't call somebody, but Shauna did call a couple of locksmiths that never got back to her.
Okay.
In the Pendleton area. And so we went with one in Walla Walla, and they were real quick to get out there. He had some very colorful language for the people that installed that lock. And I'm not going to repeat any of it here, but he got it figured out and fixed to where the door will actually function. It was a quick repair, probably the least financially burdensome, like $125
Oh,
to
cool.
fix the lock. And so it's working well now.
Great.
So originally in my email, I gave her 2 options, either take it off the rent
Okay.
or send the bill to Andy, and Andy can pay, not Andy, the district can pay the locksmith. However, he wants to do
because-
that.
Because it was a first time ever calling that locksmith, they requested or they require payment at the
upfront.
time of the service.
Okay.
So I just got them a check.
Okay,
And so if we can take it off of the,
so
if
send
she can
it
take
in
it off
with
the
your
rent, that's
rent
fine.
next time,
Okay.
so we know.
Okay.
So we
I'll let
can
her
keep our paperwork.
Okay.
Good, I'm glad
And
it's off the list.
future reference, he did say that he can come in and get keys for any of the locks in the building, because I was
Okay.
venting some frustration about not being able to find the keys for a lot of the locks in the building. So, oh, we can get you keys. Okay. Not right now, but anyway, he said eventually if that ever comes up, they can get keys.
So you don't have keys to all locks. Why don't we get that?
There's 3 trilogy locks in the building that we don't have physical keys for. I finally found the instructions online so I can reprogram them. But if the batteries ever die, then we're SOL.
Well,
But I do have a
you have
Sasol.
records and stuff that you need them. I mean, like on the
Um,
office door,
it's-
if you don't need it, you could put a regular lock back on that too, so.
Just because of the
Something to think about, cause they are a hassle.
accessibility of the building, it's easy to just keep the locks. So,
But not being able to use a laptop, I know they're a pain to.
only one of those locks is a laptop accessible.
Yeah, right.
So anyway. But yeah, it's been, the front door lock is working much better now.
Perfect.
Great.
Okay,
Thanks for the update.
Christine,
Nothing for me.
Well, what do we need to do to get this lock thing? So, if they're gonna rent our building, I feel like we need to put instructions in the way. We need to just hire a locksmith.
To like get the keys for all the locks. I mean, we can call them and see what it would take and cost wise. He said he could even come in and basically have all of the exterior doors keyed the same.
I know that we're doing locks on our house right now, and they have those things that you just key them all the same.
Yeah, that's what he said. With
That'd
the
be
commercial
easier.
locks, they can just remove the tumbler set and get them all keyed the same. So, I mean, that at this point, that's not as urgent.
Okay.
So,
Is there anything else urgent in that building then? That's my question.
not this time.
Okay.
If you're so moved to get a quote on changing those, I would say key all of them the same where you can.
Whatever one goes with the one you just fixed.
it would be great
Yeah.
to, you know, but.
Mark could, has he seen it? Do you think he could do it over the phone, kind of quote to you and say, hey,
Potentially, if I get the same guy, I'm sure he could probably, I kind of walked him around the building and showed him some of the locks and. Oh yeah, we can get all these keys the same if we need. Okay, well, I'm not worried about that. Let's just fix the one right now, so.
Okay. Yeah, get us a quote.
Okay.
Might be easier. Okay, anything else?
I don't know if this is a good time or with UFR, but I just wanted to real quick about the meeting notes, what is possible through technology and what isn't. Some people may be hoping, nobody's talking to me directly, but hoping technology is doing things that it's not. Right now, the only thing I can provide on the technology side is the videos that I'm editing and putting up on YouTube. And if you go and watch those, they're in the Eastern Tiller Farm Rescue. There's a YouTube channel. And then you can also turn on the captioning. It does it even shows and it does all that kind of stuff. Yeah. The one thing that is not possible with anything approaching a budget that we have is any software or AI or anything that can identify people. So all it can do is spit out, at this time, this was said, this time, this was said, and there's really no way to stitch that together. So I wish there was, but there isn't. So if you have any questions about what happened in the meeting, best bet is to go watch the video, go to where you want, and then if you guys want, I can send you out a little screenshot of it, but you can actually click, there's little dots, and you can basically save a copy of the transcript if you want it for some reason. I'm not saving the videos to Zoom because then I have to download them. Zoom basically has the same transcribe function. YouTube does it automatically, so it's not worth the hassle. So I don't know if anybody has any questions, but AI and all the fancy stuff on the internet is not to the point where it knows when Greg Phillips is talking or Mark's talking. That's not possible at this point. It'd be horrendously expensive, like hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yeah, so just so we know, or if there's any questions, feel free to ask. And all disclosure, all I do is take the video, literally cut where medic ends, fire starts, cut out anything before the meeting starts, and that's it. I don't edit anything in the middle of it. So what you see is that's what was actually there. Yeah. I'm trying to fix anybody's speech.
I brought that up just for the mere
Right.
reason that we have to approve the minutes from the prior meeting. And the only reason I said that I don't think that we would be actually able to approve that as our minutes is misspelling of names and not being able to identify who said what. That's basically it. I mean, at this point, I'm happy with the transcribe, but as far as actually accepting the meeting minutes for a public records, I didn't think that would be good to have incorrect information in there still. That's the only reason I brought it up.
I just want everybody to kind of understand where we're at, and that's what we got.
All right, thank you.
Okay. With nothing left, adjourn the meeting. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second or third.
All right. Chris Williams and Mark Calvert at 7:37.